Hi and welcome back to my channel. So I am back with yet another video on exception handling. So in this video we'll be covering a very interesting and you could say not much known topic, and that is what is the use of terminate workflow. So from the name you can guess it's used to terminate a workflow, but I've been asked this thing in one of the interviews, and yeah, I found it to be a good question, so I thought why not discuss it with you all. So I was asked that as we know that there is a try catch and we know that there's a finally block in the try catch, but what if, and as I even told you in the previous videos and you may even know it, that the finally block is executed no matter whether there is an exception or there isn't any exception on the workflow. But let me ask you a question. What if you do not want the control to go to the finally block? What if you do not want to execute the code which is written in the finally block? Then what you'll do? And the answer is terminate workflow. So that is the only way how you can stop the control, the programmed control to go to the finally block. So that is one of the questions I was asked in the interviews, and I would not obviously reveal the name of the company, but yeah, it's a good company, and I was asked this thing in the interview. So we have seen this thing that this particular piece of code, it would just log into Amazon, enter in the username, enter in the password, but because we've not clicked on continue or clicked on enter, the password screen it would not be able to locate and would throw a selector not found exception. So that's what we know now. And in add catch, one more thing to take care of, that when you are adding different type of catches, make sure that the base class, which is the system.exception class, should lie at last. Now over here, instead of selector not found exception, I'll be adding a business rule exception. So I have added a business rule exception, and I would log a message here, and I would say error. I would say it is a business exception. Okay. And because it is not a business exception, it would not lie in here. And underneath it, I would add a system.exception class. So anything which does not fall in all other previous catch blocks would definitely get caught here, because this is the last in the base class. So all exception ultimately falls to this particular class. So exception in login. Okay. Now in finally what I'm going to do, I am going to kill my Chrome, or I can do anything in the finally block, but I also want to do this thing that whenever there is an exception, I do not want my finally block to be executed. So first let me try executing it this way, that there would be an exception as we all know, and it would then come to the catch block. It would not go to the business rule exception because it's not a business exception. It would fall in this block, and then at last it would execute the finally block to kill the Chrome. So let me execute it. Let us just see how this thing is actually working, and post that we'll see how is the terminate workflow bringing in the change. So yeah, we've got an error. There wasn't any abrupt end because of the exception handling we have in place, and obviously our Chrome is killed because the finally block was also executed. Now what if I do not want the finally block to be executed? Now here comes in picture our terminate workflow. If I drag in my terminate workflow here underneath this, and I would pass a VB expression here, and I would say exception, and reason is not mandatory, so let me just not pass it, or if I can even pass it. And in the reason I can pass exception, exception dot message. So that's my reason, that this is the exception which I got, and because of this I want to terminate the workflow. Now let me try executing it. Now because this terminate workflow would pretend would not allow the finally block to be executed. Once we have got the error, our Chrome would not get killed because that's what we have written in the finally block. And because it would be interrupting the finally block to be executed, our Chrome would not be killed. And here we've got this error, could not find UI element. So that's what it got this error. Okay. Let me also showcase this thing to you by running it in the debug mode. Let's do a step over here because so that we get this error. Okay, let's go back to the workflow. So we've got this error here. Now let's click on step into. We have come here, the exception catch block. It would log the message and it would terminate the workflow. And the workflow has been terminated. And you can see exception type is system.activities.statement.workflow terminated exception. And why you getting this is because you're passing this thing to the terminate workflow. So you're passing all these things, the exception, the reason. That's why it is showing it to you over your screen, which from which you can clearly relate that this exception, this workflow has been terminated because you have explicitly terminated the workflow here by passing in the exception. If we would not have dragged this thing here, we would not have got that pop-up and here on the screen and the finally block would have been executed. But because we have dragged this thing here and we are passing the exception and the reason for it, and that's why we're getting that pop-up over screen which is stating us the exception and the reason why we are terminating the workflow. So that's the use of the terminate workflow. And that's all for this video. Thank you for watching the video, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Have a good day.